Okay, this video will be disconnecting the output of the water pump to see if we can get the pump working. Okay, so there's 4 screws on the front panel, and they're just the standard panel screws. Okay, so fortunately this isn't rusted, so screws come off easier. Well, you saw what happened when the screws are rusted. I mean, had a hard time taking it off. Okay, so here's the panel. Okay. Everything's unplugged. Okay, so this panel, like it says, clean that up. Here's the max and minimum. I'm gonna probably have to re-decal that later. So, okay, so this is a clearer view of the water level. Okay, with the green ball. If you don't have the green ball, no big deal. Because you can see the water level, but it's nice to have the green ball. Okay, but it's not imperative as long as the water level is where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we got the output of the pump going to here, and there's a diverter valve with a pressure regulator. Okay, so this should be set to a little higher than 9 bar. It's designed not to go above 9 bar, but it's usually a good idea to set it just a tad higher, like say 9 1/4 or 9 1/2. That way you're getting the full, by the time it hits the group head, you get the full 9 bar. Okay, so you can test that with a group head pressure gauge. Okay, or it's the pressure gauge mounted to the portafilter. I have a video of that too. So anyway, so we're gonna check if there's water coming out of here, and so I'm just gonna disconnect. I don't have to remove it completely. I just have to loosen it up. Okay. Let's see. Got a 13 here. 13? No, it's a 14. Oh, 14. 14. Oh, let's just use a... Normally I have all my metric tools out when I'm working on a machine, but today we're just kind of winging it. So crescent wrench is good enough. All of these, naturally, since they're made in Italy, they're all metric. Okay, so now I don't need to remove this completely. I just need to, like, it's loose enough so water will come out of here. Let me grab the drain tray. I can find it. Where'd you go? Oh, there. So I don't get water all over the electronics. Okay, so we're just gonna toss this on here because I'm already flooding the top of it. In fact, let's just towel. Towel to dry this up so we don't get the, even though there's a cover on it, no sense asking for trouble. Okay, so dry all that off. Okay, let's throw the drain board on. Okay, you can see water coming out already. Okay, so now if we turn on the pump, if it starts pumping, water will splash out of that. Okay. And by loosening that, if there is an airlock, the water should ooze out of it. Okay. So we're going to turn on. We're going to hear the solenoid for the on-off switch for the heater turn on. Okay. Then we're going to hit the dose button. Okay, it's starting to try and come out. You know, I'm gonna try several times. Sometimes turning it on and off can shake it loose. Here's the difference between a rotary pump and a vibration pump. The rotary pump normally, yeah, that does need to be primed too, but there's enough vacuum when it turns on that it'll draw up water. As long as you don't leave it on too long where it'll heat up, because the veins, if they run dry, they will damage the rotary pump. With the vibration pump, not too bad. It just won't get started. Okay, we're dealing with an airlock here. There's air inside the pump. What I can do is I can force. Okay. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and force the water to force out the air bubble. And the way I'm going to do that is I unplugged it, okay? So I'm going to squeeze one end and hold it. Get up. I'll just squeeze one in with a pliers so that, okay, now the fill tube is full of water. So I'm just going to block it off by squeezing one end of the tube, and then I'm going to squeeze the side where the pump is a couple times, release the clamp, then squeeze again, and then pump. You can see air bubbles coming out because I'm trying to force the air out. Okay, so I'm going to clamp down on the end and then squeeze the hose to force any air bubbles out. You can see water dripping out. Okay, so I did that a couple times. We'll see. We'll try it now. Okay, we'll plug in again. Whoa. Whoa. It's a little too short. Okay, again, turning it on and see if the pump comes on. I mean, the pump pumps out water. Okay. Getting more water, but still, it's not coming out at the pressure we're expecting. Let me really disconnect this to give it like more free flow. I mean, it should be. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay. Oh, this is water coming out of the tank. Oh, it's coming out of, that's water coming out of the group head. Because there's water, this is connected to the group head. So that's what was in the group head. The heat exchanger has a little tiny tank in it. Okay, so now we're going to turn it on. Okay, this should be water squirting out of this. We're not getting anything. Okay, so the water that was dripping was actually coming from the heat exchanger. Okay, so this tells me the pump needs cleaning. Okay, so again, there's videos showing how to clean the pump. I won't show it here because there's a lot of detailed videos on how to clean this pump out. I'll just remove it, clean it, and then get this back working again. Okay. So next video will be reinstalling a clean pump or replacing it. You know, if you're working professionally, you'd replace the pump. You wouldn't even bother cleaning it because it takes a good hour to clean it. Okay, and again, you might lose parts. Okay, so instead of spending that hour, just grab from your supplies, throw in a brand new pump, and off you go. Okay, so we'll be back with hopefully a clean pump.